1978 was a year of reckoning in Jamaica, and for the Augustus family, it was a time of reflection, resilience, and rediscovery. The political tensions that had engulfed the country over the past few years had not disappeared, but something new was in the air: a sound, a movement. It was the sound of reggae music, pulsing through the island like the beat of a heart, and its message of revolution, unity, and struggle was sweeping through every corner of Jamaica. Bob Marley had become the face of the music, and in many ways, the voice of the people. His music was the pulse that kept the nation together during its most turbulent times. In Greenhill, the Augustus family had settled back into a routine. Marcus had returned home from Kingston in 1977, disillusioned by the violence and political strife, but determined to find a way to help his family and his country. Jacob's carpentry business was slowly picking up again, thanks in part to the steady flow of tourists returning to the North Coast, and Grace, ever the backbone of the family, continued to keep their home running smoothly while raising Joy and Malcolm. But despite the relative calm in Greenhill, the rest of the country was still reeling from the aftermath of the political clashes between the PNP and the JLP. The violence had subsided significantly, but the scars were not healed, especially in Kingston. In March 1978, something extraordinary happened. Bob Marley, who had long been a unifying figure, orchestrated the One Love Peace concert, a historic moment when he brought the leaders of the warring political factions, Michael Manley and Edward Siaga, on stage to shake hands in front of the nation. It was a symbol of hope, a brief moment when it seemed that the nation could heal. The impact of that concert reverberated across Jamaica, even reaching the quiet, cool hills of St. Anne, Marley's home parish. It was a hot afternoon in early April, just days after the One Love Peace concert, and Jacob and Marcus were working together in the small carpentry shop behind their home. The smell of sawdust filled the air as they hewed wood into custom furniture. Marcus, now a mature 16-year-old, had developed a skill for craftsmanship that rivaled Jacob's. Though his mind was often elsewhere, distracted by the music that had become the soundtrack to his generation. Papa, Marcus said, pausing to wipe the sweat from his brow. You hear about the concert at Kingston? Jacob nodded. Me hear about it. Bob Marley met Manley and Siega shake hand. Marcus smiled, a rare lightness in his expression. You don't think that big? The whole country watch that, you know? And bring the people together, even if it was just for a moment. Jacob looked at his son, recognizing the passion in his eyes. Yeah, it big. But one concert can't change everything. The real change have to come from inside the people them. Marcus nodded slowly, understanding his father's wisdom, but still caught up in the euphoria and the excitement of the times. True, Daddy, but the music can't help. It reach people in a way the politics can't. Jacob paused from his work and looked at Marcus. You really believe that? Yes, Papa. Look round you. The people them hurt. Enough young man that have no work. The politics tear we up. But Bob them a bring hope, Papa. Him sing about freedom, about unity. He must speak up for the people. Jacob leaned on his workbench, thoughtful. You're right, Marcus. The music powerful. I hope it really bring the people back together like old times when we used to love scare and mentor, and we have to do more than listen though. We have to act. That night, after the children were asleep, Jacob and Grace sat together on the veranda, the night air cool and fragrant with the scent of the flowers in their yard. The music played softly on the radio, and the voice of Bob Marley drifted through the open windows. Get up, stand up for your rights. Grace, who had always found solace in the simple rhythm of life in Green Hills, spoke softly. It feel like things have changed, Jacob. Like the people waking up. The youth them different now. Marcus them generation now willing to take things laying down. Jacob nodded. The world different, Grace. The young people them a try to find them own way, but it rough. The politics still have a grip on the people, even though Way up here, it's not really that bad, but you still can't see it. You think Marcus going to stay at Green Hill or I'm going to leave again? Grace asked, her voice filled with a mother's concern. Jacob sighed. Me no know. Him have big dreams, Grace. Him no cut for country life like we. But think him heart still that Kingston, but him see the danger too. Grace leaned her head against Jacob's shoulder. Wherever him go, we just want him to be safe. The world outside of Green Hill not easy, you know. As 1978 wore on, the Augustus family continued to feel the ripple effects of the larger changes happening across the island and the world. The cresting of reggae, Rastafarianism, and the call for social justice were redefining what it meant to be Jamaican. Marcus, drawn to the revolutionary messages in the music, began spending more time in Brownstone and Charlton, where he and his friends would gather to listen to the latest records and talk about the future. One evening, after coming back from Charlton, Marcus found his father sitting on the veranda staring out into the night. The stars were bright, and the air was still, except for the distant sound of reggae music floating from a nearby house. Papa, Marcus began, sitting beside him. You ever try think about the message in the music, what Bob Marley and them saying? Jacob smiled faintly. Me hear it, me understand it too. But when I talk about the struggles we face, the fight for justice and unity, but me also see the danger when the message get twisted. Marcus looked at his father surprised. Twisted, Daddy? Oh, you mean? Jacob leaned forward, his eyes serious. Son, me know you love the music, and me know you want the change. But you have to remember, not everybody who sing about revolution mean well. Some people use the message to stir up trouble, to push them own agenda. Marcus nodded, thinking about his father's words. You're right, Papa, but me still believe the music can help. It'll open people's eyes. Jacob put a hand on his son's shoulder. It can, but you have to be wise, Marcus. Change not come overnight. We have to build it steady like how we build a house, block by block. As 1978 came to a close, Jamaica stood at a crossroads and so did the Augustus family. The echoes of the One Love Peace concert still reverberated through the island, but the realities of political division, economic hardship, and social unrest remained. Yet, amidst all the uncertainty, there was hope. The people had a melodic voice through reggae music, and that voice was growing louder. For Marcus, the year had been a turning point. He was no longer the boy who had left Greenhill for Kingston with dreams of something bigger. Now, he understood more of the complexities of the world he lived in, the struggles of his people, and the power of unity. He was ready to take on the future, not just as an individual, but as part of a generation determined to build a better Jamaica. And for Jacob and Grace, 1978 was a reminder of what they had always known, that the key to survival was strength, love, and the willingness to adapt. They had weathered many storms, and they would face whatever came next together as a family, with faith in their hearts and the sound of revolution in the air.